Welcome to my screen. All right. Good morning, folks. My name is Alpha King, and I am your Zoom host for this meeting. And today, just a couple of reminders, some technical hosting questions here and things that are going on. To mute and unmute is in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. And that is followed by to show and hide your image. You can do that as well with the button next to that. And then for comments and questions, use the chat and try to, we ask that you leave all questions until the end of the presentation. We'll have some time at the end of the presentation for you to do that. Our timer will also be coming up in a second as well. And we also have a reaction button as well. This is being recorded. So we are, if you don't want your image to be shown, so you can once again hide your image as we go along with this presentation by clicking on the button over there. We'd like to acknowledge, we will also be taking pictures throughout the workshop, and we'd like to acknowledge the contribution of the Friends of the Lion Circle Toastmasters for providing the Zoom account for today's workshop. And lastly, we encourage you to answer the feedback survey that will be posted in the chat. And the title of this workshop is Crack Your Excellence Code. So please write that down, Crack Your Excellence Code, and keep that because that's going to be the first question in the survey. And now I'd like to welcome to the screen. Please help me welcome our actuator, Amina Banji, to introduce our presenter for today. And Amina is also our timer. Yes.
Thank you, Alpha. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. We are delighted to have you join us this morning. We hope that you're having a fabulous weekend at the conference so far. Thank you for registering for the Cracking Your Excellence Code workshop presented to us by DTM Shukla Datta. Shukla is not only a distinguished Toastmaster, which is the highest award earned by a Toastmaster, but is also a seasoned speaker. Shukla is a coach, trainer, author, and a motivational speaker with long years of experience in teaching, training, and conducting workshops. She has a master's degree from Sheffield University, UK, and has taught economics, business studies, and life skills at various educational institutions, both in Toronto and abroad. Her motivational books, 3 of them, count them. One is Live Life Like Never Before. The second one is The Mojo of Relationships. And the third one is Breathing New Life with Inspiration. All 3 of her books reflect her love to inspire readers for self-improvement and enjoy magical relationships. Shukla joined Toastmasters in 2005. As a passionate Toastmaster, she visited various Toastmaster clubs throughout the world and attended and took up roles in many of the Toastmasters international conventions. Shukla offers personal and spiritual development courses. She guides groups and individual meditations and counsels couples on relationship issues. As a strong believer in self-development, Shukla has a mantra which says, quote, "Life is a progression towards excellence. Be the best you can be," unquote. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me give a very warm welcome to our speaker today, Shukla Datta, DTM Shukla Datta, Cracking Your Excellence Code. Thank you.
Alpha? Alpha, let me in. Alpha? I'm here.
Yes, you are on. Go ahead, Shukla.
Okay, I cannot see myself. All right. Okay. Can you see, all of you?
Yes, we all see you.
Okay. Fellow Toastmasters, good morning. First of all, this picture you see on the screen is not the same picture as you see me now. You know the difference? That picture didn't age like me, but trust me, this is better because it has a lot of experience. Again, good morning, and let me ask, do you want to excel in whatever you do? Do you want to become your best? And are you ready for a powerful and positive transformation in your life? Yes, you are in the right place. For the next 50 minutes, we shall have interactive learning, and I'm excited about it. Are you? Now, before going to the agenda, I shall share a story. This is a story about Golden Buddha. During my visit to Bangkok around 8 years ago, I visited a temple with a huge golden Buddha inside it. And my guide shared a fascinating story about this one. Centuries ago, this huge and beautiful golden statue of Buddha was housed in a Thai monastery. There was a rumor that the Burmese army would invade the village. To protect the statue from robbery and destruction, the monks covered the Buddha with mud and concrete, hoping the army would find no interest in stealing this apparently worthless statue. Sure enough, the army rolled in and passed by this clay Buddha. Unfortunately, the monks were killed by the army, leaving the secret of the statue behind. Centuries passed, and nobody remembered that the Buddha was golden. In 1957, the monastery was relocating, and its monks arranged for a crane to transport the clay Buddha. When the crane began to lift the statue, it began to crack, and a piece of clay mud chipped off the statue, exposing its golden color. The monks couldn't believe that. They were surprised. They started to hammer the statue until they came to realize that inside the layers of the old hardened clay were hiding a spectacular golden Buddha. Now you might be asking why I am telling you this story. Before I answer this question, let us visit the agenda. So this is our roadmap for this morning. We talk about excellence, cracking the codes, where does it start? Self-mastery, then crack the code, the excellence code. What are the codes that we have to crack? And what really matters? It will be followed by question answer session. Next slide, you can see that we have an activity. I'm sure, and I hope that most of you have received this activity sheet from in your email. I got a couple of interesting answers. For the time constraint, I have cherry-picked like 3 answers, and I'll share with you. So let's go with the first question. Today, if you could have an unlimited supply of any 5 things in world, what would you get? I gave 4 samples like unlimited love, silence from spouse, unlimited talking time, unlimited happiness, and the answers I got, 3 answers I'm quoting here: self-confidence, unlimited fresh air, oh yeah, and unlimited money. All are good. Question number 2, how do you want to perceive yourself? And the answers I picked: self-confident, friendly, positive person. Question number 3, do we generally expect things to work out well or to work out poorly? And the answer I got, most of you said well, and 20% said both, and 10% said poorly. Question number 4, I am satisfied about everything in my life, and you have to choose one. 60% chose moderately, 30% very much, and 10% somewhat. Question number 5, my greatest strength is, the answer is people person. I'm open-minded, I'm optimistic. And next one, if only I could change something in my life would be better. And I got really some interesting answer here. One is fear, if I could change fear. Next one, if I could learn time management skill. And next one, you'd love it, if I could change my boss. Well, that is a difficult task, but I wish good luck. Question number 7, 100% answer yes. And question number 8, can you think of one example of excellence? That what I liked, let me share. Gandhi, Rosa Parks, and one person wrote, my father. I loved it. Thank you, everyone who shared your sincere thoughts. Excellent. Now, talking about excellence, let us talk now, concentrate about why we are talking about excellence. And if you take a look at the slide, you find a question, and you will use your chat option to answer the question. Again, I'll take 3 to 5 question answers. What do you think about when you hear the word excellence? So time starts now. Put your answer in the chat box, please. Okay, here, challenges done well, then going beyond limits, doing something with happiness. Wow, I missed one. I loved all these answers. You know what? This is your personal, your sincere, and your deep thought about excellence. And I really appreciate that. Why do we strive for excellence? You see, excellence is the core value in every aspect of our life. Next to integrity and respect, Fortune 500 companies, they listed excellence as the 3rd most popular core value. Now, to be human is to live. Excellence is the sterling reason for, like being. Why do we, after all, we exist? Do we exist, or we want to live? And if we want to live, this is the sterling reason for being. Because to be human is to live our highest potentials. As someone said, we human beings have 8-cylinder engines with us. And no, not 8, in fact, it is 10-cylinder engines. And what we do, we run only with 1 cylinder. So we have to use our full potential. Also, it is directly tied to fulfilled and rewarding life. Just imagine, you want to excel in anything you do, from kitchen work to your presenting a project, or doing a performance, whatever you do. If you have the attitude of excellence, then what will happen? At each step of the process, you will find that you are feeling a fulfilled and rewarding sensation. Also, next one is imagine the possibilities. Imagine the possibilities. Here, we have one enemy for life, and that is called mediocrity. And if we can banish our mediocrity and excel, then we are just exposed to a life of limitless. Also, the last one, but not the least, excellence has influence and possibilities. influence and impact. You see, we all have our dreams, our goals that are important, but what really matters is in influence and impact. Now, it is said that a rising tide floats all boats. If we apply the same analogy, if I excel, if you yourself excel, then what will happen? It will have a spillover effect to all people around us. We will influence, will impact. And guess what? Small drops of water make the ocean. We can make and we can bring changes in the world. So excellence leaves legacy. I know I cannot hear you, but can you please tell to yourself, repeat after me. Excellence leaves legacy. Please repeat after me again. Excellence leaves legacy. Thank you. Now, what about cracking the code, excellence code? Okay, we know what is excellence, but what are the codes? Where does it start? And what are the codes? Before we go to that, let me just continue my story. Remember the Golden Buddha story? Why did I tell the story? Well, we are hiding a secret, a priceless secret. What is it? Each one of us is born with golden excellence. That is our DNA. However, we pile layer upon layer of clay over our own golden reality. Now, you may ask, what is the heaviest layer and who puts that? Well, surprisingly and shockingly, the heaviest layer of clay is of our own making. It is our own limited thinking and unconscious conditioning. The other layers of clay get added on from external influences like our family, friends, colleagues, social media. All these influences, put other layers on our own existence. We forget our golden potential is there within us all the time. Many of us never realize our golden potential simply because we don't recognize it. We go around life with feelings of inferiority. Because we feel inferior, we'll self-defeat ourselves. And when we self-defeat ourselves, we sell our dreams. We love to dream, but we sell our dreams. And when we sell our dreams, we fail to take action. This is a terrible waste of human talent, and I'm sure you all will agree. The truth is, we all need to crack our the codes of our golden excellence. So are you ready to crack your excellence code? Yes? So let's start with the next slide. If you ask yourself which area in your life you want to excel, what are the challenges? So to know all these answers, we have to dig down and first face the first issue that is called self-awareness. Self-awareness involves our emotional intelligence. What is self-awareness? It is what you will see about yourself. Now, when you that mirror on the wall, who am I? Can you please tell? So when you look inside us, what do we see? Well, we see our strengths, we see our limitations, we see our personal values and beliefs. Now, the previous slide, please. Now, previous slide, please. So you may want to be a great speaker. Identify your strengths. Keep a list of that. Strengthen your strengths. And also, you may also want to be a great sales manager. Take an inventory. What are your strengths to become a sales manager? Now, to do that, take an inventory of the limitation or challenges, I must say. Challenges. What are the challenges? What do you need to learn? What skills you are lacking? How, when, how, where you are going to learn those? Take an inventory, and then you just do this list and take, so that you can go to the next step, what is called self-mastery. Self-mastery. So you see, what I see is self-awareness. I know where I am now. That leads me to self-mastery. And that is what I have to do. And then both of them lead us to excellence, achieve excellence. So let's go to the next slide and see what does it. Remember, when we say self-mastery and self-knowledge, a Chinese philosopher Lao Tse said, knowing others is intelligence, but knowing the self is wisdom. Mastering others is strength, but mastering the self is power. With that, we are going to the next slide. And this slide is, yes, the wait is over. No, the wait is over. So here what happens? If you ask any exceptional performers in any area of expertise like sports, music, movie, speaking, public speaking, any area of performance, they would suggest you core elements of excellence. And author Terry O'Leary, he compiled those elements and put in a wheel, and that is called the Wheel of Excellence. And I loved it, and I thought I would share with that. So there are 7 elements. Belief, a commitment and belief is at the core. These two constitute the heart or hub of our human excellence. Now, why they are at the core, at the heart of human excellence? Because these two elements involve our overall perspective or orientation towards excellence. The way we view ourselves, our capacity, the importance of our goal, and our desire to become our best. Belief, talking about belief, previous slide please. Talking about belief, we are born believing, is it not? We bear beliefs as a tree bears fruit. The difference between excellence and mediocrity lies in 2 words, and that is huge. That is called limiting belief. We all have dreams. The question is, many of us short sell our dreams, thinking that our dreams doesn't matter. Our dreams don't matter. We are no good. We are not cool. So all these limiting beliefs just sabotage our dream. When we believe ourselves and in our dreams, anything is possible. Remember Muhammad Ali, what he said? If possible, he turned to I am possible. I love that. Commitment is another element that is at the core of the core of human excellence. Commitment is making a compelling decision. Okay, you dreamt and you have a goal. Now, this is a compelling decision you have to make. It is so strong that there is no going back. No matter what, you will commit to this cause, commit to this goal, like a skydiver. When he dives from the plane, there is no going back. Now, let me ask you a question. Who do you think has more excellence? An Olympic champion or a Buddhist monk? Well, the answer is each has unique DNA, gifts, challenges, passion, and purpose. But the theme is almost always the same, a commitment to bring the best, being the best, or delivering the best. Many of us procrastinate. Procrastinate is, we all are familiar with that. If someone says, I never procrastinated, I think that person doesn't exist. Anyway, did you have any situation when you put up your important project, important work, because you thought, I cannot do it because the time is not time is not good because I cannot perform it perfect. I have to perform it perfect, so I need time. So you procrastinate. I tell you something, friends. There is nothing called perfect in the world. There is no perfect time. There is no perfect person. You know what? My husband thinks he doesn't have a perfect wife. And guess what? I also think I didn't have a perfect husband. Joke apart. Commitment is sticking to our passion and perseverance to achieve that in the face of challenges. It shows our perseverance. It shows how much we mean, how much we give importance to our goal, to our excellence, and to our dreams. And someone said that I think the day I let my commitment go is the day I don't have a chance to excel. I like that. Here I remember a joke about commitment. I think many of you might know it. A chicken and a pig were walking by a church, and there was a big festival going on there. The chicken and the pig were very inspired, and the pig asked the chicken, let us, I'm inspired, let us, donate something. Then the chicken said, okay, let's start, I'm ready. The pig said, no, your gift will be a contribution, but my gift will be a commitment because I'll be slaughtered. Now let us talk about, so belief and commitment constitute the hub of human excellence. We'll be now talking about each one on the outer loop. And remember, all these have a synergy, one element reinforcing the other. And all together, they create the whole synergy that contribute to excellence. Next slide, please. So the first one is mental readiness. You see, life begins from within. When a chick is ready, it hatches. And to hatch, it has to get out of the comfort zone. You see, the comfort zone, it has to get out of here to here. Otherwise, it will not have the magic of life. Now imagine you are the next speaker in a club meeting, and the Toastmaster of the day announces your name and says, are you ready? You give a big smile and say, yes, I am ready. You give your opening statement and bing, you take the audience in your palm in an instant. What do you think made you to get to this mental readiness? I'm sure you learned more, you worked harder, you planned, you prepared, and you took this opportunity. So seizing the opportunity is very important. And for that one, we have to be mentally ready anytime and every time. Ask yourself, do you mentally prepare yourself to live and perform your best? Do you carry a perspective to seize every opportunity that comes along your way? Well, here is a story I think you'd love to hear. I knew there is a young lover, his name was Romeo. He fell in love with the farmer's daughter and asked the farmer to marry her. The farmer said, on one condition, I have 3 bulls. I will set them free one at a time. You must catch at the tail of at least 1 bull. I'm sure those who are lovers like Romeo would say, yes. And that's what Romeo also said, yes. Yes, sir. Then precisely, it took, so what happened on that day, there was a scheduled day and the area opened. And Down the gate opened and the first bull came out. It came out running. Romeo thought it looks too dangerous. He decided to wait for the second one. Then down, the second bull came running. Romeo said, oh, it's too deadly. Anyway, I have another chance. He decided to wait for the third one. Down. The third bull came out running and the crowd was cheering, go Romeo, go. And what happened? Romeo was ready. That is my catch. He was all ready to catch the bull's tail. And guess what? The bull didn't have any tail. So we don't have to let go any opportunity that comes along our way, because every opportunity is a learning experience. Every learning experience moves us to the next level of excellence. Next element we'll be talking about, next code of excellence, is positive image. This girl was asking her dog, what will the new year bring us? Well, there can be so many interesting answers, but the dog was so positive. It says 365 opportunities. I wish I have that positive attitude like this dog. Now, being positive is very important to build positive imagery. I had a senior friend. Now, before I tell you about him, let me ask you, what do you eat for breakfast? Funny question, right? I asked the same question to my senior friend. His name is Henry. Whenever I asked, Henry, what did you have for breakfast? He would say, 2 slices of bread with jam and butter on the top, 2 sunny side ups, and 2 full cups filled with positive thinking. And I really loved it. We have to really drink positive thinking every single day for breakfast. It's important to monitor what we tell ourselves. Storytelling is a big part of what separates us from other species. The stories we tell ourselves about ourselves are our subconscious. It's our mental blueprint. We tell stories. Are we telling ourselves stories about our power or our fear? Are we telling stories about bending or breaking? Are we telling stories about promise or hopelessness? Are we telling ourselves about we are not cool, or we say, I am cool? So what kind of stories we are telling to ourselves in our mind? That's very important. Let me ask, do you imagine yourself achieving your goal? Do you screenplay your positive images to energize and take you closer to your goal? This is very important. So positive image is the important code for a code of excellence that we have to encode. Next slide, we'll be talking about full focus. Now, full focus, you see, distraction leads to destruction. My father always used to say that. Distraction leads to destruction, and it can never be far from truth. This is absolutely right. The best way to take care of have a full focus is represent the target as a mental image, clear mental image, and not to multitask. We are we want to multitask. Yes, someone said in the chat, fear lower our vibrations. That is so true. We are multitasking. And you know what? We not only multitask with our body or physical activities. I tell you another kind of multitasking, and that is multi-thinking. And let me share with you. When I had most of multitasking with my mind is while I was learning meditation. During the span of half an hour, I would sit and, believe it or not, the thoughts Any thought from the universe would cloud my mind, and just I can give you the list of thoughts. You'd be surprised to see. So, with with practice, I gradually overcome that, and I'm a learner. So what happens? Multi-thinking, multitasking distracts us from focus. And also we have to be aware where we are, what we are doing, so that we can get rid of our mental fog. And if there is any distracting stimuli, like you don't like one music while you are doing some work, just stop that music. So these kind of things we can just follow, so that we can have full focus. Remember, full focus is, again, it's another skill, another code of excellence that we have to bring out, we have to nurture inside us. That takes us to the next one, which are very related, both are very related. Resisting distraction is the other side of the focus coin. This is my favorite, because we all get distracted by so many things, isn't it? Right now, I can tell you, in this workshop, I hope not, but I tell you, many of us are distracted. Oh, next hour I have this to do. Oh, my friend called me last night, I forgot. Yeah, I have to call her. So many these things happen. Now, you know what? There is no way not to get distracted by distraction. It is built into our brain. Even a monk gets distracted. According to Daniel Goleman, author of Focus, there are two kinds of distractions mainly. One is sensory distraction, that is external. And what are those? For example, when you are at work, your colleagues are talking. Now you are working from home, so your children, your spouse, your other members of the family, they are talking, phones ringing, people moving around you, music playing. All this kind of distraction is called sensory distraction, that external. And the other one is called emotional distraction, that is internal. That's our own making. And what kind of distractions are they? That I told, remembering the phone call, returning to, thinking about the upcoming meeting, all these kind of things. So what happens? How can we control this distraction? That is another code. And for that, I would like to look at this locus of control, this diagram. Locus of control is about our spectrum of control. We are the self, and in the universe we have people around us. So me is internal. I control my destiny. That is internal locus of control. Now, when I allow others to control me, that I'm exposing myself to the external locus of control. So here the purpose is to have as much control, as much internal locus of control as possible. And then what happens? We can we can control whatever distractions are there, and we can focus fully to what we are doing, and that's the way we can excel. Full focus is really important, and for that we have to control our distraction. In next slide, we'll be talking about constructive evaluation. Well, let me ask you, are you doing all right? Are you still there? Show your hands waving so that, everybody gets energized that you are here with me. You are here with everyone. Let me ask you a question. Coca-Cola, Nike, Google, Opera, Tiger Woods. What excellent principles do these 6 entities have in common? Well, they all have their own brand. Opera, Tiger Woods have their personal brands, personal. and the others have their corporate brand. You know what is common? They mind their own business. They continuously work on themselves through continuous evaluation and invest in further development. They want to expand more. They want to become more. They want to become all that they can be. Are you open to criticism or evaluation? Our mind doesn't work. My mind, your mind, our minds do not work on the same frequency. Some of us are very strong and courageous to take any evaluation. Others, they are fragile and they even burst into tears over a bad evaluation. Ring a bell, club meeting, or spouse evaluation. The evaluation can push us down, or it can lift us up. I can remember one painful experience I would like to share with you. It was in the initial stages of Toastmastering. During one of my speeches, my speech evaluator gave me such a speech evaluation that it damaged my spirit, my inspiration. It sucked my positive energy. I almost decided to leave Toastmasters. Evaluation must be constructive so that we are excited and inspired to bring our best, to improve and grow from good to better, better to best, as you can see here. There is a Japanese way of evaluation called the Kaizen Way. The reason I am mentioning this one, this is a continuous and constant and continuous evaluation. We have to gradually, some can do radical and rapid transformation, but improvement, and many of us like to do gradual. So just like the hare and the tortoise story, slow and steady wins the race. So Kaizen, I think it's the same way. Slow but steady way, we have to follow constructive evaluation. So what we have to do, like you plan your next performance, then perform it, then get the feedback. Of course, it has to be constructive. Then incorporate that feedback in your whatever you are doing. It's a speech, incorporate the feedback. It's a project, incorporate. It's a musical performance, incorporate. Whatever you are doing, incorporate that constructive evaluation, and then give the next plan for the next performance. Again, plan, perform, feedback, incorporate. And I think we have to be hungry for constructive evaluation so that our hunger for excellence can be met. Remember, Steve Jobs says, stay hungry, stay foolish. Here, foolish means always be empty, like have an empty cup so that you can always fill with your excellence principles. I think I have talked a lot. Now, what about now if we take a time for activity break? So our next slide, what we are going to do, I'll give one question at a time, one statement. You'll just use the poll to have our Zoom master will monitor the poll, and we'll have just 15 seconds for each one. Let's go with the first. Are you ready? The first one is, it's an attitude, true or false? Let's wait what the poll says. Okay. The poll says is true, 100%. Next statement. It's, can we have the next statement, please? Okay, that one is excellence is a gift. Is it true or false? Waiting for the poll. Wow, it's interesting. 50% of you said true, 50% said false. There is no true or false. It's how you know, your perspective. The next one is the next. Can we have the third one, please? Excellence is a deliberate process. Is this true or false? The poll says 90% it says it's true and 10% false. Well, to me, it is deliberate process. That's why we have, whatever we do at any time, wherever we are, we can set the attitude. So this is a deliberate process. It comes from our side, own side. Next, the last one probably. Excellent is not a state of perfection. True or false? That will be our last one. Waiting for the poll. I am so excited. Wow. I think you have got it absolutely right. Excellent is not a state of perfection, because the excellence is a progression. Now, let me, excellence is really important, but what really matters? You see, personal excellence is to improve our performance consistently and continuously so that we can improve every aspect of our life. Imagine you have a car and out of 4 tires, 2 tires don't have any air. Do you think the car will move? I guess not. Similarly, we have to excel or try to excel, strive to excel in all areas of life. And on that note, we'll move to the this activity, wheel of life. We have to excel the wheel of life. In this one, I sent you this at your email, and out of many responses, I have chosen Lucy, Louise, to share her feedback or how she did this one. So what she's going to do, she's going to share how did she feel after she completed it, what surprises her the most, which category she would like to improve and why. So let us invite Louise to share. Louise, you have 1 to 1.5 minutes. Time starts now. Over to you, Louise.
Okay, thank you very much. I found it was very interesting. I don't know if I can screen share and not will waste time, but I'll tell you that my health and self-care and social fun were at the top of the scale. My personal and spiritual development was about 8. My physical environment, home and office, was about 6. Then you get to career and business, that was 2. Family and friends was about 4, and so was finances. And yet, despite all that, I feel I've achieved excellence and happiness. And the reason being is that the things that are low on my particular wheel are things that are out of my control. I had some family bumps in the road that weren't the best. And you can get to a point in life where you realize that I can't change that, but I can move on and find my own happiness. So that's what happened there. With careers, I'm in a wheelchair, I have a disability, and I lived in a city that was not a good place to get hired. Had I lived in Toronto all my life, I probably would have been hired. But there's self-talk, I think, that made the biggest difference. So I find that despite not having some of the things that most people take for granted, you can still have that excellence and positivity. And the most positive thing for me was Toastmasters. Got to show my strengths. Back to you.
Thank you, Louise. And I want everyone to have a big round of applause for Louise. Louise, absolutely, you are right. And you know, this is very personal. And when we fill it out, Inspiring evaluation, Luis. Thank you. Now, where do we fill it out? Because it is personal. After completing it, you can see at the right side, it can look bumpy like that, because each one of us have our own priorities in life, our own skills, our own passion, our own purpose, our own strength and limitations. But the bottom line is that for a fulfilling and rewarding life, it's better that we try to have a more or less balanced approach so that we can excel the wheel of life. Now, are you all right? I think we are done, and now I will give you a surprise treat. Are you ready for the treat? Let me share you what is the treat. Our beliefs and commitment are at the heart of human excellence, and we have discussed it. Success, achievement, excellence, everything needs visualization and affirmation, strong affirmation. So are you ready for the treat? I'm going to treat you with a guided meditation on visualization and affirmation. Let's start.
Shukla, you have 1 minute for this, okay?
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Let's start. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Take a long breath in. Breathe in positive energy. Exhale negativity. Breathe in confidence. Exhale fear. Now say to yourself, say it clear, I am blessed with gifts. I am powerful. I trust myself. I have everything to make my dreams happen. I'm getting better every day in every single way. I shall live my best life, and I'm ready for that. Take another deep breath in. Every breath reminds you that you are a miracle. Every day you have a choice. You choose to excel in whatever you do. Take another deep breath in. When you are ready, open your eyes and welcome a new you with a smile. You can open your eyes now with your smiling face. Say hello to new you. Here ends my guided meditation. Now, we have time for, this is our time for question answer.
You have 2
And
minutes.
Madam Activator, how many questions I can take?
I'll give you 2 minutes for this.
2 minutes, okay. All right. Questions, please. Can you, can our Zoom master show that, or can Zoom master read the question, please?
Oh, I didn't type it. He just put on mute, so I'm just going to say it.
Okay.
So my question was, in cases where there's life circumstances that are negative, how do you get your mind into a mode of realizing that those are beyond your control, and then finding a positive route from there? Some things you can't change.
Thank you, Luis, for this wonderful question. And it's so important, so important. I cannot just, help not to emphasize it. The best answer I can give you, if you are familiar with something called serenity prayer. The serenity prayer, it says, God, give me the serenity to accept the things I cannot control. Give me the courage to accept that, to make changes what I can and give me the wisdom to know the difference between these two. So I think that answers. I also asked myself this question several times, but I think this gives the answer the best way. Thank you. Next question. Miss Amina, do we have any other question? Please ask questions so I know that you are with me.
The chat has one.
Okay, Amina, can you read the question, please?
Shukla, one question says, can you please share some tips on how to control emotional distraction?
Emotional distraction. Very good question. This needs really long discussion, but I can give on the top of my head 3 things I can give you. One thing, emotion. Emotion, we are emotional beings. There is no way that we cannot, we don't have emotion. But one thing is that don't try not to let emotion master you or control you. Try to control emotion. You be the master of your emotion. How to do that? Number one, practice. Practice, think positive. And whenever this negativity comes in your mind, give affirmations. No, you are not controlling me. I am going to control you. Change the mindset from negativity to positivity. And also, you do some practice in meditation. In meditation, you really have mindfulness meditation or any kind of meditation to focus on positivity so that the negativity gradually you can, get rid of negativity so that they cannot control you.
The next question is, how can I hold on to the good feeling I have at this moment?
You just expand it, give it more energy, repeat it, remember it, and screenplay that from time to time. And share it with your friends and families.
Okay, the third question, I think this is the last one. It came earlier in the chat. It says, could you provide the name of this Japanese evaluation in the chat? Was that the Kaizen, I think?
This is the Kaizen, Kaizen, the Kaizen way, the Kaizen method of improvement. You can Google it and you can find it.
And even I think Azhar Khan is doing
there is another workshop, but for personal excellence, we don't have to go to the details because it has some engineering elements. For personal, this is simple. Have continuous and constant gradual evaluation. Get better every day, in every single way, step by step.
Okay, that brings us to the end of our Q&A session. Shukla, do you have any last closing words?
Yes,
before, we do the
yes. So Toastmasters, it was really a nice opportunity for me. I was excited. I am still excited, and I want to leave you with one real jewel thought. You can guess the picture. Who is he? Yes, you are right. Martin Luther King. Now let me tell you what I'm going to share here. One day he was asked, Mr. King, if you are given a job of street sweeper, how well you are going to do that? To that he answered, and this is the answer. I would do it same way as Michelangelo painted, Beethoven composed, Shakespeare wrote, with the best in him. I do it so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will pause to say, here lived a great sweeper who did his job so well. And believe it or not, when I read that, every time I get a goosebump because this is the epitome of what excellence is. And with that, I will leave you with my mantra, be all you can be, and drink it while you have your breakfast. Thank you. And you have been a really good audience, excellent audience. And before I sign off, I would like to acknowledge and thank Madam Toastmaster Amina as my activator, and a big and huge thanks to Zoom Master Alpha King. Yay, give another round of applause. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much, Shukla. Let's all give Shukla a big round of applause. I would like to thank Shukla for delivering a fantastic workshop to us this morning. I'm sure that we will all come away with some key nuggets. A big thank you also to all of our participants who have joined the Zoom call, asked their questions either in person or through the chat, offered your feedback. We really appreciate you sharing your morning with us today. Thank you to the Friends of the Lions Circle Toastmasters Club for providing us with the use of their Zoom account, and the people at District 60 Toastmasters for making this workshop possible. Once again, a big thank you to Alpha, who has been our Zoom master. Thank you, Alpha, for your meticulous detail and your technical expertise and in helping in planning for this presentation. As Toastmasters, we know that feedback is key to the success of any Toastmasters. Please take the time to answer the feedback survey that will be sent to you in your email. Alpha, I believe you've also put it in the chat in the beginning, right? So those of you who have time to do it now, go ahead and fill it out. It will go back to our person who's handling the Survey Monkey, and we will be able to use this feedback for future planning. So thank you for your time. Remember, the title of this workshop is called Cracking Your Excellence Code with Shukla Datta. Please write that down, as that is the first question in your survey. This brings us to the end of our presentation. It's now our time to conclude. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful time at the rest of the conference. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.